Hello survivors and welcome to another Walking Dead Road to Survival video, and in this video we're going to be taking a first look at Gold Mythic Forsaken Michonne, who is going to be coming to the game as an Ultra Token Will character. She is another character to join the Lone Wolves Allegiance by the looks of things at the top, but more importantly, she is a character that I think a lot of people have been wanting to see in the game for honestly years. This initial Michonne that we saw in the storyline with the teammates, I'm doing air quotes, of the Walkers, is coming into the game. I really like this. This is effectively the first time we've ever had Walkers as a semi-playable character, although Michonne is pretty much the main focus here. Visually looks really impressive, pretty much identical to what we saw when she actually did come into this comic book storyline, and there is quite a bit of history with the Walkers that she has attached to her. If anyone wants to leave that information in the comments down below, feel free. I'm not going to do that in this video. If we check out her stats, LB3 level 1440, she has got a massive 45,858 attack, 20,284 defense, and 22,047 HP. She is a strong character, of course, with that katana in her hands. She's going to be off the damage roll, Gold Mythic, and like I said, she's going to be joining the Lone Wolves Allegiance. Now first up, we're going to be taking a look at Forsaken Michonne's Adrenaline Rush, and it is called Finale. It has got a recharge rate of 66 AP, and it's pretty simple. Attack a line of enemies for 600% damage, plus 300% damage for each dead enemy, and it attacks each of those characters in that line. Now it is an attack, so it will have the potential to crit, so that 600% damage can be amplified by the weapons, the combat mods, and obviously be amplified by other enemies already being taken down. If you team up this character with someone like Raven, who has very heavy takedown potential on turn 1, this Adrenaline Rush can be massively boosted, and it can be boosted by Michonne herself. She's got actually pretty good takedown potential on her signature move, so she's already potentially buffing her own rush with this. This can effectively be countered by defense teams that have heavy revive, so that by the time you come around to the Adrenaline Rush, the characters are picked back up. So you just got to be aware of the potential there. But if you do team her up with someone like Philip Blake, who is the Lone Wolves leader, there is heavy decap potential with that leader, so that those characters would stay down, and it would be a permanent buff pretty much for Forsaken Michonne's Adrenaline Rush. Very high damage potential for sure. Okay, so here we have the Adrenaline Rush of Forsaken Michonne, and I will say the animation is kind of amusing, because I had in my head like she would attack and leave the Walkers back with her, but that isn't how it works. We're going to attack this bottom line, and we should do pretty decent damage. It's straight damage as well. And we'll take out 1. She's taking the Walkers with her, as you can see, and we'll take out 2. Pretty much as simple as that. Now she will get other bonuses because of her specialist skill. As you can see, she can go again and she can rush again. And she's getting other bonuses because of her passives. If you've seen the buff that she's received, you'll see what she's going to get with that passive later on. But it has very high potential to make her Adrenaline Rush even more amplified than it potentially already is. This was just the 600% base. There was obviously no 300% extras with already taken down enemies. So this can obviously get boosted quite significantly. Now going straight into the upgrades on the Adrenaline Rush, you can see at grade 2 it gets an AP cost reduction to 66 from what I would assume would be 75, but this isn't a problem. 1 copy of this character is required for this upgrade. 1 copy is also required for the grade 4 upgrade, where it gets plus 100% damage for each dead enemy, so initially come in at a 100% damage boost. Then at Limit Break 1 it gets plus 200% damage boost to the initial hit, so it'll go from 400% up to 600% damage to each of the enemies in the line. Then at Limit Break 3, it'll get the plus 200% damage for each dead enemy. So it'll get boosted up to potentially a plus 300%, plus 600%, 900%, and 1200% in raids at least. I guess against Walkers, you potentially have lots of enemies down at the same time. Theoretically, this could be like plus 3000%. But in a normal raid situation, it would just scale 300, 600, 900, 1200%. That 1 enemy left alone getting Adrenaline Rush by Michonne is going to be absolutely getting destroyed, which is really, really nice. It basically means the fight will speed up the more enemies you've already taken out if you've got Michonne on your team with the Adrenaline Rushes, which is it's actually kind of cool. I think the damage output of this is really, really high. It is a very simplistic rush, but if you see how it synergizes with the specialist skill, and you're already seeing some boost potential from her passives on what can happen after she's taken characters out. So good rush, heavy hitting, but I almost feel like this rush is going to be like the cherry on top of the rest of her kit. So let's see what the rest of the cake has to offer. And part of that cake is going to be the signature move, and it is called Fresh Meat. It has got an initial cooldown of turn 1, cooldown of 2 turns, number of uses unlimited, attack an enemy for 700% damage, but it gets +1 attack if the target was at 100% of their max HP. Now, as you know, when you start a fight, you're going to be facing a lot of enemies with their max HP, and this means that Forsaken Michonne has a very good chance of hitting 2 attacks of 700% off of turn 1. Very high potential damage output and very high takedown potential as well, which will obviously mean that she can proc her own signature move and potentially get that passive to occur that we saw before, which would just instantly buff her adrenaline rush for maybe even turn 1. Let's check out how this works. So this time around, we're going to do the signature move, and I'm going to select the central character. We will be attacking someone with 100% of their max HP, so we should get 2 attacks out of this. 1 attack comes in and it will take down the enemy, and if that occurs, the other attack will go to another enemy. It's pretty much as simple as that. Now you see I have my rush available because of my specialist skill, plus I have got a 150% attack bonus, probably because of a passive, which we will check out later. And this means I can obviously rush now and do as much damage as possible right now, or I could play it cheeky and defend. And what can happen here is the next turn I'll have my adrenaline rush ready, and I can do my adrenaline rush twice in 1 turn. It basically depends on the kind of defense teams you're coming up against, whether you'd want to take advantage of that 2 rushes in 1 turn potential. Now, checking out the upgrades on the signature move, you can see at grade 3 it gets a 300% damage boost, so it goes from 400% up to the massive 700% very early. Then at grade 5 it gets an upgrade where you get +1 attack if the target was 100% of their max HP. So the damage potential of the actual signature move straight away will be maxed out at grade 5, which is 2 copies. But if you want to do it at turn 1, it is going to be a Limit Break 2 upgrade, where it gets -1 to starting cooldown. You can get the full potential of this signature move even at Limit Break 2. Now, if you were unlucky and did only get the character to Limit Break 2, that wouldn't be too bad. You'd obviously miss out a little bit on the adrenaline rush doing extra damage, which is going to be pretty significant, and you will miss out on some base stats, which will be pretty significant as well. She has got very high attack, and generally speaking, you want to get that fully maxed out to take full advantage of those massive stats. But yeah, being able to get the full potential of the signature move off of Limit Break 2 is very nice indeed. She can get amplifiers from everything. She's got crit damage potential on her signature move and her rush and her basic attacks. It's going to work into her roll as well, which will boost the damage of all of these things. The attack output of Forsaken Michonne here is really good. She has to have some good team ups, characters that have stun, disarm to stop weapon procs for sure, but she has got some really high damage potential, that's no doubt. Now, there is an issue where she can obviously proc counter damage, but if she is in a team with Philip Blake as the leader, there's counter damage reduction to Lone Wolf's characters, and if she is in the team with Anniversary Maggie as the leader, the same deal. So you can obviously team her up with characters that are going to make it so that those paybacks and so on and so forth are not an issue for her. Now, because Forsaken Michonne is an Ultra Token Wheel character, we're going to be doing an Ultra Token giveaway. With your chance to win 10,000 Ultra Tokens, all you have to do is type in the comments down below the word Forsaken. I'm going to make it nice and easy. The word Forsaken to enter. I would use it as part of a sentence so you don't get spammed out by YouTube. I will be doing the draw on a future live stream. You do not have to be on the stream to win, but I will reply to your comment if you are the winner. So make sure you have your notifications turned on so you are aware that you have received the message, and you can directly message me on Discord to claim your prize. Any unclaimed prizes I will re-roll on my live stream for live stream viewers only. Best of luck if you enter. Now back to the video. Now here we are with Forsaken Michonne's mythic abilities. These are her passive skills, of course, and this is where her entire kit can come together. We have got agility, which is going to work with that adrenaline rush, with that signature move, with the basic attacks, where she'll get 20% increase in basic attack damage. The next passive is called Welcome Relief. When taking out an enemy, 100% chance to recover from all penalties. This is kind of interesting, and I do wonder if it works like Headcracker, where if I get stunned by a character as I attack them but take them out, will I then self-cleanse, or will I be stunned? We'll have to wait and see how this actually works. I'm assuming I will self-cleanse just like Headcracker specialist skill. Then we have the Rotten Core. When taking out an enemy, this fighter gets 150% attack for 2 turns. We saw that in previous clips with his signature move with the rush, and that's where her signature move now can effectively set up her rush to do even more damage. If you take someone out in the first turn, proc her specialist skill to go again and get her adrenaline rush straight away, you'll get 150% attack boost straight away on that adrenaline rush, and there will be an enemy already taken out. Very nice indeed. The last passive is called Harvest. When attacking an enemy with less than 75% of their max HP, that enemy gets crosshairs for 2 turns. Now, the important part with this is, does the crosshairs come in before the takedown comes in when it comes to Michonne's attack? This is the main interesting part, because if it does, that is decap potential on Forsaken Michonne, and that would be a massive added bonus to her kit. We'll have to do 2 separate clips to see how Welcome Relief and Harvest work, but let's check it out. Okay, so we're going to test out the self-cleanse potential. We have a character that has passive stun here, where when I attack, I have a chance to be stunned, and I have to take out the enemy to proc the self-cleanse. So we'll do a basic attack. If I get stunned, it will say in red text above Forsaken Michonne's avatar in the bottom left-hand corner that she did get stunned. The basic attack comes in, and she did get stunned. You saw the red text come up, but she has her turn available to her. This does mean that the cleanse comes in after the proc of control. Now, just to show you how her team up with Philip Blake works, I'm going to take out this line of enemies, and as you can see, there is going to be no counter damage to the Lone Wolves characters, which is going to be Philip Blake and Forsaken Michonne. You will need other characters in your team to protect characters like Laura, or you could use Maggie as the leader instead. You have a couple of choices. Okay, so this time around, I'm going to use Maggie as the leader. There's going to be no crosshairs on the enemy team, as you can see. I'm going to do a basic attack against this character. We will take them out. They've got less than 75% of their max HP. They should be decapped if the crosshairs gets applied first. So we're coming with the basic attack, and the character gets downed. They did get crosshairs, and they are decapped. You can't really see it. I'll take out these enemies. You can kind of see how the bonus works when it comes to Maggie Green as being the leader. Oh, okay, one second. I think this is actually going to proc that again because it's less than 75%. You can see the crosshairs did come in first. So we do have crosshairs get applied before the damage comes in, which means before the takedown comes in. So she has actually got some decap potential as well, which is very nice indeed. Now, going straight into her passive upgrades, we can see at grade 1, she gets the first half of Welcome Relief, where she has a 50% chance to recover from all penalties when taking out an enemy. At grade 2, she gets the first half of Agility, where she gets 10% increase in basic attack damage, and this is going to work with all of her kit, her rush, her signature move, her basic attack, so she's going to get amplified damage from this every single time. And then at grade 3, she gets the second half of Welcome Relief. When taking out an enemy, 100% chance to recover from all penalties. It's obviously very nice. You saw how it worked. It procs after the penalties come in, so she will always be self-cleansed as long as she takes out an enemy. Then grade 4 and 5, we have Rotten Core. When taking out an enemy, this fighter gets 50% attack for 2 turns, so it isn't going to be a chance to get the attack. It is just a lower number. I like this quite a lot. And then at grade 5, the first half of Harvest comes in. When attacking an enemy with less than 37.5% of their max HP, that enemy gets crosshairs for 2 turns. Now this is going to proc before the takedown comes in. This is very nice. The grade 5 version just means the area of the effect is lessened, so it's got less chance to proc, generally speaking, because the window of their HP is lower, but it still has a guaranteed proc chance as long as they are under 37.5% HP. Now moving on to the limit breaks, you can see at limit break 1, Agility 2 comes in, where there's a plus 10% chance in basic attack damage. This obviously stacks with Agility 1, making it 20% boost, and like I said, it works with everything, so that's great. At limit break 2, the Rotten Core 2 comes in, giving an extra 100% attack for 2 turns when taking out an enemy. This stacks as well. It'll be 150% attack boost. Very, very tasty. And then at limit break 3, Harvest 2 comes in, and this stacks with the original Harvest, making it less than 75% of the max HP of the enemy. Applies crosshairs for 2 turns, and obviously she takes that enemy out with that attack, whether it be a rush, signature move, or basic attack. That enemy will be decapped as long as they didn't have any crosshairs resistance. I like her passives a lot. It doesn't amplify her damage potential too much, except for what we already saw, which was the Rotten Core. But the self-cleanse and the potential to add crosshairs are just really nice additions to make sure that Forsaken Michonne will still be able to be, taking part in the fight for longer periods, and also obviously have a little bit of decap potential as well. Very nice indeed when it comes to the passives. Forsaken Michonne is going to be a massive damage dealer for sure. Now, if all that wasn't enough, of course, Forsaken Michonne does have a specialist skill, which is called Follow Up 2. Once per turn, when this specialist takes out an enemy with an attack, active skill, signature move, or adrenaline rush, they will receive a bonus action. This fighter gets 100% max AP. A bonus action means another turn, and that means obviously if you take someone out with the signature move turn 1, she'll get 100% of her max AP and be able to adrenaline rush straight away. Or you could do what I said before, defend off of turn 1, and then on turn 2, use your adrenaline rush, and if you take someone out with that adrenaline rush, guess what? It'll proc this specialist skill again, and then you can do your adrenaline rush again. This obviously is once per turn, that's why you'd have to do the defend action on turn 1. This is something I used to do on Kenny as a follow-up, but what you could also do is do a basic attack off of turn 1, not trying to take down an enemy to proc the specialist skill, and as long as you've got enough AP weapons, you command Forsaken Michonne with Laura, then she'll be able to rush twice off of turn 1. So there are definitely, different setups that you can do with Forsaken Michonne. Follow-up 2 is a very fun specialist skill, and it obviously massively boosts the damage potential of a character. And with the takedowns that Michonne's going to get, this is obviously going to be massively boosted the damage because of the 150% extra attack, so on and so forth. So she's effectively, when she gets the takedown and procs a specialist skill, the next thing she's going to do is going to have even better chance to take down more enemies. Really, really nice when it comes to Michonne's kit, her damage output, and most importantly, fun. She'll be a lot of fun to use. Now, Forsaken Michonne does have an attached weapon, and it is Forsaken Michonne's Savage Katana. It has got 45% attack base, a huge bonus to AP when attacking, improved bonus attack, plus 45% attack when attacking enemies with more than 35% HP, and in the last one it has attack up versus crosshairs, plus 50% attack when attacking enemies with the crosshairs status effect. Now this will work with her own kit, but she will have to attack characters with under 75% max HP to proc that last slot. However, if she is in a team with Philip Blake, who has got crosshairs in his kit, there'll be crosshairs on the enemy teams already off of that first turn, which should get an extra 50% attack boost off of what she already does. So that 700%, signature move goes up to over 1,000% basically when it comes to the damage output there. Kind of nuts. It will work with the adrenaline rush as well, as long as the characters that she's attacking have crosshairs on them or are under 75% max HP, so she can apply crosshairs herself. Really, really nice amplification here. And of course, the weapon is her kind of trusty katana, so it just looks awesome. So this was just a little look at Forsaken Michonne's kit, and she looks very, very powerful indeed. She is going to be an ultra token wheel character, and she definitely looks ultra powerful. I think she's going to be a really, really good damage dealer. She is of the next generation. She has got the boosted stats. 45,000 base attack is going to be really nice. All the bonuses coming in with the 1535s. You're going to see massive attack stat on this character, plus the massive attack boost that she gets from her own kit if she takes out an enemy. You're going to see huge numbers come out from this character. Synergy is going to be very important. She can proc weapons, even though she can cleanse herself if she comes up against like stun on defense, so on and so forth. But you don't want to proc things like absolute defense, so some sort of disarm potential is going to be quite important for attack teams. And we have had the recent Lee come out who actually has that potential in his kit, and he's a command too, which can work very nicely with characters with the specialist skill follow-up too. If she's in a team with another character that has early takedown potential like Raven, Raven will be able to boost the rush potential of Michonne if she takes out enemies early on in the fight. So very nice team up potentials. Michonne by herself should just be a lot of fun to use. If you've used Sophia recently or in the past, you kind of know how it works with the follow-up, and it is just a lot of fun to have big numbers happen and lots of things going off on one particular character. And we've got the walkers as the kind of background teammates, which is very interesting indeed. Do tell me your thoughts on this character though in the comments down below. Best of luck if you enter the giveaway. I want to thank you very much for tuning in, and as always, keep on surviving, guys. Keep on surviving.